Finnish government proposes adding arts and physical education to high school exams. Electricity prices in Finland to spike sharply on Monday, September 16, 2024. Investigation into illegal tree cutting in Lempäälä halted due to lack of evidence. Reports of child sexual crimes quadruple since 1980s, online abuse on the rise. The Finnish government is planning to add physical education, music, and art to the high school matriculation exams. This bill aims to enhance the role of skills and arts subjects in the curriculum, giving students more opportunities to showcase their abilities. If approved by Parliament, from 2029, students will be able to choose one of these subjects as part of their 5 mandatory exam subjects. The goal of the reform is to increase the importance of arts subjects in university admissions. Additionally, instead of just completing an arts certificate, students will now have to take official exams. Technical details about the exam format are still being discussed, but it is expected to include a prepared practical test. The bill has received positive support from teachers and educators, with hopes of improving the quality of arts and sports teaching in the future. Electricity prices in Finland will rise sharply on Monday morning, September 16, 2024, with the highest price reaching nearly 60 cents per kilowatt-hour at around 9 a.m. Afterward, prices will remain high, about 50 cents at 10 a.m., and gradually decrease to 40 cents by noon. Around 5 p.m., there will be a slight increase to over 30 cents, followed by a drop to below 30 cents for the rest of the day. The average daily price is expected to be around 22 cents per kilowatt-hour. This price hike is mainly due to technical issues at nuclear power plants and weak wind conditions, affecting wind power generation. In October 2021, over 100 trees, mostly birches and chestnuts, were illegally cut down in a park area in Lempäälä. The value of the trees was estimated at around €30,000. The case was investigated as a serious act of vandalism, but the investigation was halted this spring due to a lack of solid evidence. Despite interviewing many people, the police could not identify the culprit. Although there were voluntary activities in the area during the fall, it is unclear if these were related to the tree cutting. In 2020, some trees were also felled after a storm. The prosecutor suggested that the actual value of the trees might be lower than initially estimated, which meant there wasn't enough basis for a serious vandalism charge. The case is no longer being investigated, and the statute of limitations expired in September 2023. According to the Crime Statistics Bureau, reports of sexual crimes against children have quadrupled since the 1980s, and this trend shows no sign of changing. However, Julia Korerman, a psychologist from the European Institute for Crime Prevention, notes that these figures don't fully reflect the true level of such crimes. Increased awareness and preventive measures have led to more reports, while the actual number of abuse cases has decreased. Nonetheless, in the past decade, online sexual crimes against children have risen significantly. Expert Teemu Kaukonen emphasizes that social media is a dangerous environment, increasing the risk of children becoming victims. He calls for improvements in legal procedures and preventive measures to reduce risks and provide timely support for victims. During the construction of a new apartment building on the Karkolar hillside near Turku Castle, archaeologists discovered around 400 old graves. These graves date back to the 17th century or even earlier, before the area was converted into a residential zone. Archaeologist Kari Ortiler and his team were called to study the site. They found that the graves were not only in deep layers but also in shallow sand near the foot of the hill. The remains will be preserved and relocated to a holy cemetery. Bishop Mari Lepparnen of Turku stressed the importance of respecting the graves, even if they belong to people without close relatives. She emphasized that respect should be maintained at every stage of the construction process. The Sports Management Council in Kontiolahti was delighted when the Finnish government agreed to fund over €1 million for new lighting at their Biathlon stadium. The decision was announced last week during a government budget meeting. Kimmo Turunen, CEO of the company operating the stadium, said the funding was the result of long-term political efforts. The Kontiolahti Stadium has needed lighting improvements for years, as the current system does not meet international standards for televised events and competitions. The upgrade project will involve replacing light poles and moving electrical cables underground, improving television image quality and increasing the venue's ability to attract international events. The government will cover 70% of the cost, while the local area will contribute around €450,000. Heli Poikela, a brain health ambassador, emphasized the importance of daily physical activity to maintain brain health. According to Poikela, the brain doesn't care whether you're wearing sneakers or high heels. What matters is that physical activity improves blood circulation and supplies oxygen to the brain. She encourages people not to focus on complicated exercises but to make small changes in their routine, such as walking a different route or going shopping without a list to stimulate the brain. Poikela also believes activities like dancing benefit brain health as they combine music, movement, and social interaction. She stressed the importance of maintaining good sleep habits and avoiding sleep disturbances. By making small adjustments and staying active, we can significantly contribute to our brain health. A wolf was spotted crossing the yard of a house in Paraisten at noon on Saturday. Hanna, a resident of Archaeologists, filmed the wolf from her kitchen window. Predator liaison Stur Lindroos confirmed it was indeed a wolf and noted that while wolves are usually nocturnal, it is rare to see one at noon. Lindroos advised dog owners to be cautious, especially when letting their dogs outside without a leash, as wolves can pose a threat to them. Currently, Paraisten has been granted permission to scare wolves away, but this has not yet been implemented. Kelkar said she wasn't worried about herself but was concerned for her small dogs and plans to build a fence to protect them. Hanna Jokinen, a Finnish caregiver, received a prestigious award from Queen Silvia of Sweden for her contributions to dementia care. Working in the Kontiolahti area, she was deeply moved by the Queen's recognition and praised the important role of caregivers. The €6,000 award honors Jokinen's idea of giving caregivers more decision-making power over their work shifts. While proud of the recognition, she hopes Finland's healthcare sector will also pay more attention to caregivers' working conditions. Climate change is causing heavy rains, and landscape architects are looking for solutions. The role of landscape architecture is becoming increasingly important in addressing issues such as heat waves and flooding in cities. In Helsinki, the new Postipuisto residential area has been designed to combat the effects of climate change. Landscape architects, like Verpu Mikala from Nomaji, focus on designing green spaces not just for recreation but also for managing rainwater, preserving biodiversity, and creating social spaces. Green areas help reduce flooding by increasing water absorption and minimizing hard surfaces. In Paris, a program to plant 170,000 trees is an example of how cities can improve living conditions amid rising heat waves. In Postipuisto, a rainwater lake has been designed to collect and process stormwater, easing the burden on the city's drainage system. Wearing clothes until they wear out not only improves body image but also reduces comparisons with others. A study by the University of Varsar found that long-term use of clothing enhances self-awareness and gives a sense of control while saving time and money on shopping. The research showed that limiting shopping and focusing on existing items reduces impulsive buying and boosts confidence. Participants felt happier and compared themselves less to others when they creatively reused their clothes. Instead of frequently shopping for new items, keeping and repairing old clothes helps reduce environmental impact and saves money.